had an interesting trip coming down from Canada. It's nice here. It's like t-shirt weather. It's 45 below when we left. The wind, I think, was minus 50 something. So this is really nice. So but we had everything from snow to rain. Blew a tire on the car doing 90 miles an hour. So it was interesting getting up there. But we made it up safely, and right after this, we're heading back. So hopefully we make it safely back. Really, within good time. Yeah, I was exposed to the business in August, really, and went down to Anaheim for the conference. And that's where I had what I always describe as my wow moment, where, even though you have the education as far as whether it be supplements or the natural healthcare side of things, but you don't always get the most current knowledge as far as the new technologies, the new testing, the new products available. Things are always constantly changing in medicine. The one biggest thing to know in medicine is what we know today is not necessarily what is going to be right 10 years down the road. There's always things that are changing, right? And that's one thing with even the MDs, for example. I've even had conversations with MDs with mutual patients that have had uncontrolled blood pressure, but within 2 to 3 weeks of me putting them on arginine, their blood pressure is completely under control. Them contacting me going, what are you doing? This is unheard of. Like, we're struggling with this person. We're referring, to cardiologists already. What have you done? And I said, well, simple. We've got arginine. Arginine equals nitric oxide. Nitric oxide, vasodilation. Simple. It only won the Nobel Prize in '98 for this whole concept, right? And then they go, send me some information, right? So it's easy to see some of the changes that have taken place once people start taking the products. The one biggest thing I always tell my patients is monitor your health. Like Dr. Joe was saying, take charge. And what we have to do is people that are on medication, I can't tell them, don't take your blood pressure pills anymore. But I say the best thing you do is chart your blood pressure. People don't chart their blood pressures enough. They'll go to the pharmacy once in a month and check it and oh yeah, okay. Or else they'll go to their MD and get a checkup, and he'll check it, and most people have what we know as white coat syndrome, so automatically their blood pressure goes up a little bit. And then he'll go, your blood pressure's still high, stay on your medication. Right? You really have to take control of your health, because nobody's going to do that for you. Monitor your blood pressure. You go to your little local pharmacy, you're going to get a blood pressure monitor for those that have hypertension. For 20, 30 bucks, 40 bucks, what you do, chart it for about 3, 4, 5 times a day, okay? Consistently. Do that for a month, okay? When I tell people that when they're starting to take pro-arginine, by the time it gets shipped up to Canada, which is a struggle right now, we're roughly about 3 weeks before it gets up there. Monitor your blood pressure right now for 3 weeks. Do it 5 times a day, okay? When you start taking the product, just keep monitoring it 5 times a day. You're going to see your numbers going down. Then you take that sheet of paper to your MD and go, listen, this is what I'm doing. Here is the chart of my blood pressure for the last 6 weeks, 2 months, and you'll see the numbers are going down. Then your MD at that point in time is going to, say, well, this is interesting. What are you doing? Well, this is what I'm doing. Well, what we're going to do now is lower your blood pressure medication, because your arginine, or the pro-arginine, is never going to take your blood pressure down to an uncontrolled level. Okay, because it's your body's natural response of using that arginine for that vasodilation. But it's the medication that you're going to take on top of that, which is going to lower it to an unsafe level. Okay? So it's something you just have to monitor on yourself, or even when you have family or friends that are taking different medications, monitor it, take control. Okay? So what we've been doing up in Canada is I have a few colleagues that were going into their clinics. Even the colleagues I've talked to, they're like, yeah, don't take it, right? Because I heard that concept earlier. They're like, yeah, this all makes sense. You're welcome. Come into the office. So, because we are very limited with the cardio pulse wave devices, I'll go into the different clinics. Put it this way, August I was running a full-time clinic. I've got a couple of therapists and chiropractor working in my clinic. Currently, we're only down the road about 4 or 5 months. Very rarely am I even in the clinic. So I went from a full-time clinic. Right now, I'm barely even in my clinic. My patients are quite mad at me, but I mean, they understand. I try and sneak them in when I can and get the job done. But in that short of time, I'm now traveling Western Canada in various clinics, walking in, even if it's for a half a day, not even in clinics, other distributors, helping them out, saying, just, get some people in, I'll do it at your house. I've worked in people's houses, just walk in even in an evening, after being in a clinic all day, that evening, I'll go to somebody's house and I'll do another 10 people. Okay? A nice group setting in a house works really well because I can zip through everybody, test them, it doesn't take long to test, everybody sticks around, has a wobbly pop or something along that line, some chips, they're sitting down, and then at the end of that, I can explain. Everybody gets a paper, these are your results, this is what it means, this is what we'd like you to do. Okay? So it works good in a group setting like that. It does not have to be in a clinical setting. I've done it in a church little or Sunday school room in a little corner. There's drafts, pulling crosses and all this stuff on the wall, but I mean, it works. Okay? People are seeing results. I've seen the results, this disruptive technology that was discussed. Like we have to understand the blood pressure monitor, you put your arm in and it goes pump, pump, pump. There's technology from 1890. What do we use today that we used in 1890? Not a lot. Apparently, a blood pressure machine, right? Sphygmomanometer, right? Multiple. But what we're using now with the cardio pulse wave is developed in 1980. It's been in use for a number of years in very select few university colleges, research centers. Now, things have advanced. It's like my first computer, not my first computer, but the first computer was the size of a house, right? Now my cell phone's got more memory than that thing has. Technology is advanced. We've got, the old cardio pulse waves from 1980. Sure, they were bigger and clunkier and not very movable or portable. Yeah, now we got these little devices. That's very portable. Times have changed. Okay? So it's very, very, scary even for some people, doing some tests. I've done a lot of tests. I've seen some people test, charts don't even go that high, like double the charts. One lady in particular, probably in mid-40s type of thing. Family history of cardiovascular disease. Just tested horribly. I've tested probably in excess of 200 people by this point in time. Never seen numbers this bad. She really wasn't too concerned about it. She said, well, I had a physical from my MD, and he said everything is fine. And I said, if you're comfortable with that, that's fine, but I'm not. Okay? Here is a sample jug. Take it, because I want to sleep at night. I've never seen numbers this bad. I said, just take it, come back, we'll test you again, very, very soon. And I just want to see, you'll be my little science experiment. And yeah, that wasn't that long ago, so we're waiting and we're going to do the test when I go back to that area in a couple of weeks. But I have seen one of my chiropractic friends, when we first got involved, he was testing that of a 60-year-old. 50 to 60-year-old, and he's 39. Great physical shape, works out on a regular basis, healthiest diet imaginable, protein shakes, all that. Within 3 weeks, he wanted to get tested again. He was taking 2 scoops a day. He says, let's just do a little experiment, test me again. So I said, yeah, okay, why not? He was out of a teenager, and that was in 3 weeks. Okay? Protocol calls for 3 months. And in most cases, everybody is going to use, metabolize things differently. In 3 weeks, that was his wow moment. He went, this is great, right? Not only did he feel better, he works out regularly. He charts his, he's a charter. He charts all his numbers. He's noticing a huge difference in the amount he's lifting and working out, his endurance when he's doing that. He's noticed a significant change. So the results that I've seen have been even wowing me every day. It's not a very difficult thing to do. Next month, I think, hopefully, they're going to have some training and start slowly releasing more cardio pulse waves. I hate to hog them up in Canada for you guys. I apologize on that. But I promise we'll give a few back. So, yeah.
Yeah, are you saying that we're gonna be able to do testing ourselves?
Well, that's something that's gonna happen in the very near future. I don't know all the details on that specifically. I'm sure Eric Glenn will be able to answer a lot of your questions. Where somebody in your upline may have access to the cardiac pulse width. So I'm not only doing this just for myself, I'm doing this for people in my organization. I'll go to their homes, I'll go to their clinics, wherever I gotta go.
How expensive are they?
Oh, I have no idea on that. You'll have
I'll
to
address
discuss
that.
with Eric.
I'll address
John, we have people with them.